My father's voice thundered through the lobster shack's salt-worn rafters. "You're no match for the legends, Lena," he declared, his words sharp as the nor'easter rattling the windows. At 68, Jonas Voss loomed like a breakwater among his grizzled dockworker crew, his verdict slicing deeper than the cold Maine wind. The crowd's chuckles stung, each laugh a reminder that I, Lena Voss, was a shadow in his saga. At 40, a freshly minted Coast Guard captain, my hands bore the calluses of hauling sailors from raging seas. Yet to him, I was the daughter who never measured up. In that crowded shack in Rockport, Maine, he didn't know, none of them did, that his words were about to sink, and my truth would rise like a tide. I hadn't returned to Rockport in 10 years. The Coast Guard had forged me, thrusting me into churning waters to save lives as storms howled. My father's weathered cottage stood unchanged, same sagging porch, same rusted anchor, same heavy silence in every room. He sat whittling a wooden turn, his hand steady as the harbor's pulse. I mentioned his retirement party, hoping for a spark of connection. "Only giants get honored, Lena," he said, eyes fixed on his blade. "Not you." The words cut, familiar as my youth. I nodded, understood, and left a woven kelp pendant, my mother's once, before slipping out. I wouldn't stay to be lessoned again. My mother, Nora, was my anchor. She died when I was 16, her light dimmed by my father's shadow. Before she passed, she pressed a tarnished sextant into my palm. "Stay true," she murmured, her voice a beacon. I held fast to that. My father's pride went to my brother, Caleb, the engineer whose bridges were his dockside tales. At supper, he'd praise Caleb's designs while my mother slipped me the softest roll, her eyes whispering, "You're enough." At 20, I joined the Coast Guard, diving into tempests to save drowning souls. "Hold tight," I'd murmur to a sailor caught in a squall, my shoulders aching as I fought the current. Those moments shaped me. But in Rockport, I was just Jonas Voss's girl, the one who chased storms. The lobster shack hummed that night, thick with steam and sea salt. My dress uniform shone, medals glinting under flickering buoys. I planned to leave my donation and fade away, but my father stepped forward, his smile sharp for the crowd. "Only giants get honored, not you," he boomed. The room stilled, spoons clinking, eyes darting. My fingers traced the sextant in my pocket, grounding me. I turned to go, then a voice cut through. "Captain Voss, this way." Admiral Elise Marrow, her uniform blazing with stars, stood at the entrance. Her presence hushed the shack like a slack tide. She guided me to a small stage. Whispers rippled. My father's face tightened. Marrow's voice carried. "We honor Captain Lena Voss tonight." The title crashed like a wave. A grizzled fisherman tapped his glass, clink, clink, a quiet salute. My father muttered to his mates, "She's just chasing waves." No one laughed. The tide had shifted. Marrow unveiled the Nora Voss Grant, a fund for coastal youth to pursue dreams, my mother's name glowing beside a lantern-lit photo. Caleb shot up, voice sharp. "This is Dad's night, Lena, not yours." Murmurs split, some nodded with him, others watched me. I gripped my sextant, breath even. Marrow's glare silenced Caleb, her authority a bulwark. The room divided, some clinging to my father's tail, others seeing the truth break free. The ceremony pressed on. My father was called to pin my captain's insignia. His fingers fumbled, voice low. "Didn't see this coming." The shack erupted in applause, a swell lifting me. I stood quiet, letting truth speak. Later, he pulled me aside, voice soft. "Let's not make this about her photo." I met his eyes. "No, let tonight stand." He froze, smaller than ever. Caleb left without a word. At dawn, I knelt by my mother's grave, the ocean's rhythm steady. I left her sextant by the stone, whispering, I stayed true. Driving from Rockport, the harbor gleamed under sunrise, gulls soaring free. Revenge wasn't loud, it was claiming my story, stepping past his shadow, and letting truth chart the course.